squared on the slab. It is then lifted into position and clamped. The top portion bolts to the frames while the bottom is secured much like the base angle, drilling a hole in the slab and using a set screw to secure it. Next, we will view a common type of window installation. First, you will cut a side panel to the plan specifications and place into position. Do not fasten panels immediately next to the window opening at this point. This is important because as the window is slipped into position, you will want to be able to pull the panel over the top lip of the window unit. Here we are installing a 60-30 slide window. You will notice here that the top lip of this window goes underneath the panel and the bottom lip goes over the top of the panel for proper drip runoff. Fins on either side of the window unit allow for attachment to the sheeting as shown here. Fins are shipped detached from the window and must be attached before installation. After the window is positioned, the erector fastens the remaining paneling over the top lip of the window. At this portion of the window in each top corner, caulking is necessary. Fill the void completely with a high-grade caulking product. We will now view the installation of skylights. Rhino skylights consist of translucent roof panels that match exactly the same configuration of the roof panel. In this case, R panels are used. There is no need for field-cutting panels for skylights because Rhino delivers roof panels pre-cut at the factory to allow for skylights per customer specification. Here the insulation is cut at the skylight opening. Before installing a skylight, we see here that skylight support trim will be mounted on either side of the skylight. This type of trim from Rhino trims out the skylight as viewed from inside the building, thus hiding the blanket insulation at the sides and providing for a much more professional appearance. It is important not to fasten roof panels near each skylight until after skylight installation, because it is necessary to lift the roof panels slightly to properly position the support trim underneath the roof panels. Here the blanket insulation is folded back and inserted under the roof panel. You will now apply one row of mastic around all sides of the skylight cutout, approximately 4 inches in. Now place the translucent panel carefully into position. Different translucent panel sizes and types require different screw-down procedures. Your plans from Rhino will detail this procedure. Here the erector will first attach 6 screws along the bottom of the panel while the other workers hold it in position. This ensures that the skylight will not wiggle out of position during fastening. The erector now continues the fastening procedure along the sides approximately 1 foot apart and finally over the center purlin. The adjacent skylight is then installed on the other side of the peak. After each skylight is fastened, erectors will now apply mastic at the ridge. A die-formed ridge panel is then placed and fastened over each translucent panel in the very same way that it is installed over roof panels as seen earlier in this presentation. As viewed from inside the building, the completed skylight is attractively trimmed around the insulation. Next, we will install a roof vent. Roof vents greatly increase ventilation inside your Rhino building and can be adjusted precisely for the desired airflow. You will first cut out the insulation at the ridge opening and apply mastic on each side as shown. Most Rhino roof vents feature die-formed attachment flaps that conform exactly to the R-panel roof panels for a superior seal against the elements. Be sure that you attach a ridge cap at either end of the opening. Splash pans on either end of the roof vent must first be assembled and attached before laying the vent into position. Splash pan assemblies are tape-mounted on the underside of the vent. There will be 2 sets for each end of the vent consisting of 2 parts, the splash pan and the fastening plate. You will first fasten the plate to the splash pan as shown here. Detailed fastening instructions come with your unit. Next, screw the splash pan assembly at each end of the vent. Notice again that the splash pan was ordered in the same panel configuration as the roof panel. Not all vents come with this customizing feature and require additional closure strips and mastic and do not provide as good a seal. As you place the vent into position, be sure that a row of mastic is applied around all sides of the opening and that the pull chain is unwrapped and dropped down inside the building. Fasten screws first at all 4 corners, then along sides and end. Here we see the completed vent as viewed from inside the building. This concludes the basic steps required during a typical erection process. In conjunction with this video, your erection prints, and your Rhino erection manual, you should now have all the information necessary in order to professionally erect your Rhino building. Having successfully completed all steps in the erection process, you will now have a building to be proud of, and one that will withstand the test of time. As you have seen, every single area of the building is pre-engineered to go together only one way, the right way. And you decide which accessories, trim, and insulation will best fit your needs. Our staff of experienced professionals will assist you in obtaining just the right building for your needs. Call us today for a quote on your next building.